Most people think healing is mainly about what they do, what they eat, what habit they start, what supplement they take, what workout they complete. But healing is also shaped by something quieter than that. Rhythm. The flow of your day. The pace you live at. The spaces you leave or do not leave. The way energy rises, drops and gets used. The way your life moves from one thing to the next. That matters more than most people realize, because even good habits can struggle inside a day that has no rhythm. And even small supportive actions can start doing much deeper work when the day itself begins helping you instead of constantly pulling you apart. That is why this matters, because daily rhythm affects healing more than most people think. A lot of people try to improve health by adding one more thing, one more rule, one more plan, one more task, one more standard to meet. But if the day itself is chaotic, overloaded, fragmented, or constantly reactive, that extra good thing often has nowhere stable to live. That is one of the deepest reasons consistency can feel hard. It is not always that the habit is wrong. Sometimes the rhythm is working against it. And once you see that, you stop asking only, what should I add? You start asking, what kind of day am I trying to heal inside? That is a much more useful question. One of the biggest things I've learned is that the same habit can feel completely different depending on the rhythm around it. A walk in a calmer day lands one way. A walk squeezed into chaos lands another. A good meal inside a supported rhythm feels different from a good meal eaten while rushing, scrolling or carrying 10 other pressures at once. That is not because the habit stopped mattering. It's because rhythm changes how the whole system receives what you do. That is why this is not just about isolated actions. It's about the way life is flowing around them. The first thing to understand is that rhythm affects stress. A day with no pauses, no transitions, no breathing space, and no real recovery points tends to keep the system on alert. Even if nothing dramatic is happening, the body can still feel like it's being carried from one demand to the next. That matters because healing does not happen well in endless internal urgency. The system needs moments of settling, moments of shifting gear, moments where the body is not only bracing for the next thing. That is why rhythm matters. It affects how safe, rushed, pressured, or supported your day actually feels, and that shapes healing. The second thing to understand is that rhythm affects repeatability. A supportive rhythm makes good habits easier to return to, not because life becomes perfect, because there is some shape to work with, some signal, some place for things to land. Maybe there's a calm start to the day. Maybe there's a more regular meal rhythm. Maybe there's a better evening wind down. Maybe there's a point in the day where walking fits more naturally. Maybe there's less random drift and more gentle structure. That matters. Because repeatable habits usually need a repeatable rhythm around them. And without that, even helpful things can keep slipping. The third thing to understand is that rhythm affects energy. A lot of people think energy is only about sleep or motivation. But daily rhythm shapes energy too. When the day is constantly reactive, fractured or overfilled, energy gets pulled in too many directions. When there's more flow, more pacing, more space, the system often copes better. That does not mean every day has to be beautifully designed. It means the shape of the day matters. The pace matters. The sequence matters. The overload matters. The transitions matter. That's one of the reasons healing habits are only about isolated techniques. They're about the environment those habits are trying to live inside. The fourth thing to understand is that rhythm can be built small. This is important because some people hear daily rhythm and imagine a perfect routine. That is not the point. This is not about becoming rigid. It's about becoming more supportive. That might mean starting the day a little more gently, eating at more regular times, leaving a pause before bed, making space for a walk, reducing some of the frantic transitions, creating one or two steadier anchors in the day. That's enough to begin. Because rhythm does not need to be perfect to help. It just needs to become a little more supportive than it was before. The final thing to understand is that healing often happens better when the day stops fighting you so hard. That's really the heart of this. Healing habits matter. Small practices matter. Good choices matter. But the rhythm around them matters too. Because your day is not just a container you happen to live inside. It's part of the system shaping what feels possible. And once you see that, you can stop trying to force healing into a day that is constantly working against you. You can start gently shaping the day itself, and that changes more than people think. So if things keep feeling harder than they should, do not only ask what habit is missing, ask, what is the rhythm of my day doing to me? Where does my day support me? Where does it drain me? What small shift in rhythm would make healing easier to hold? These questions matter because daily rhythm affects healing more than most people realize. And once you start seeing that, another piece starts to matter too. Because some of the strongest healing rhythms are not only built from tasks or routines, they're built from the simple, ordinary actions, activities that shape daily life in the first place. So watch the next video where I show how ordinary activities, daily activities, quietly build healing into real life, and why the way you spend your time matters more than most people think.